Giants, who are beaten up this weekend.
This is true.
And they might be just good enough to pull it off. Who knows?
What about the Saints, though? Boy, how awful did they look?
Wow, do we all feel like
week?
fools for picking the Saints to go far now, or what?
I can't believe that I put them in the freaking Super Bowl, and they don't even look like they belong on a football field right now.
Their defense, to quote a man, is horrible.
It's horrible.
It is just bad. Awful. Now I know they're playing the Colts, who are an offensive juggernaut.
Yes.
But let's be frank, that was some bad defense. And they used one of the Colts ex-players who they just pretty much kept picking on. And it was just a bad day for him.
Pretty
bad.
You know,
I think the Saints are going to bounce back from this one. They got Tampa coming up this week. That's an easy win.
They might.
Oh, and there's no debate from the middle because he's not here to defend the
What's
Bucs.
up now, Tampa?
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, that's too bad. We're going to bash on
win.
Tampa right now. Yeah, I think they'll beat Tampa Bay.
They should get back on track. I don't think this is something that's going to destroy the Saints long term.
This could set them off. You know, like they could go crazy for the rest of the year and be ready to play the Colts again. Super Bowl? Who knows? Anyway, Jamarcus Russell finally broke his freaking holdout. Signs a contract. Does it help the Raiders?
No.
Charlie Fry, the first player or quarterback?
Yes,
first quarterback ever to start week 1 and be traded before week 2's game.
That's quite a dubious distinction.
Yes.
That he should be proud of, question mark?
No, I think that's pretty much saying that you're the crappiest quarterback ever.
I think Cleveland was looking for an excuse to get rid of somebody, and Charlie Fry gave it to him.
Yes, pretty much. But what if he would have had a good game?
For a 6th-round pick, Charlie Fry's not a bad pick, though. Not a bad grab for the Seahawks as a backup.
Well, he's going to be like their third-string guy because they got Hasselbeck and they got.
But they want to use Seneca Wallace out in the field, is what I'm hearing. They wanted a legitimate backup.
They kind of want to make him like a wide receiver
slash type guy. So look for Seneca Wallace to come up in your fantasy leagues soon, if all works out for them. I got a lot of baseball stuff. Which
I got some baseball.
I hate to do, but they're getting close to the playoff races.
Yeah.
And I think that we should kind of take a look at it and maybe determine if some of these races are done, over with, or if somebody's going to come back.
Actually, you know what's weird is I wrote some stuff I wrote set or not, like if the playoffs were set in certain leagues.
Right.
Like I think in the AL, you pretty much got to say that Boston, Cleveland, and the Angels are going to win their divisions.
Boston's up 5.
They're pretty far. They're pretty far ahead. I think Cleveland's up like 6, and I want to say the Angels are up like 4.5. So.
The Angels are up 9.5.
It's ridiculous. So like those teams are pretty much going to win their divisions. And then I think the Yankees are going to end up with a wild card. I don't really.
The Yankees are in the lead by 4 games for the wild card over Detroit right now, so it looks good for them too. So. Yeah, the AL's looking kind of locked up, which is, hey, wow, no big shock, really. I don't think there's any team there that really knocks your socks off. People may have not picked Cleveland at the beginning of the year. I don't think
I took Cleveland at the beginning of the year. The only team, the Angels are really good, and I probably should have taken them. I happened to take Oakland. Oakland's not really as good as.
But again, it's not a surprise, and that's what makes baseball stink. These are the same teams that we see every year. Great. Even if Detroit somehow sneaks in there, well, we've seen Detroit a lot lately too, so. It's not like there's really anybody to root for. Seattle's 9.5 out of the West and 6.5 back of the wild card, so I think they're kind of out of the conversation. But over in the NL, there's some chances for some new teams to make some moves. The Mets seem to have the East locked up, and Arizona is up 2.5 on the Padres.
Yeah.
And even the Dodgers and Colorado are 6 out, so there's still a lot to be had there. And the Brewers in that Central, where things are still happening, are only up a half game on the Cubs, and the Cardinals are back 3.5. So there's still
I don't really think that that's done and over with by any means at all. I think the Brewers and the Cubs are pretty much going to battle until the end of the season. Arizona does lead the West, which I think Arizona will probably end up winning the West. I don't know if the Padres are going to be able to hold on, though, because they got Jake Peavy pitching, it seems like, every other day because he's the only guy that can get wins for them. So, I don't know. Phillies, maybe. They got a chance at it. We'll have to see what happens there.
Well, I think the Phillies have a good chance at that wild card. They're 2.5 back, but there's 6 teams within 6 games for that wild card.
It's pretty
spot,
close.
So there's still a lot.
The
to
NL wild card's pretty close.
So anything could happen with that. I'm a Cardinals supporter, but I think that their attempt at the wild card is gone, and their attempt at the Central is slowly dying.
They're kind of falling. They're kind of falling out of it a little bit.
But they haven't had a good season anyway. It's ridiculous that they're in it.
Yeah, and then the Rick Ankiel thing. He was going off, and then it comes out that he probably ended up using HGH. So
well,
that's not really
that's all speculation.
Yeah,
it gets to the point where so many things get out like this that at some point people don't even seem to really care anymore. A lot of this stuff comes out, and then people are just like, oh, whatever, and then they move on with their lives. There's a really good player for the San Diego Chargers that got busted on illegal drugs last year, Sean Merriman.
Yeah.
And the guy is still held up there as a big dude. He's still got major commercials and sponsorship, and it's kind of silly to me that like some people, like Barry Bonds, we're guilty of it, have gotten on him on this show, and yet other people who've been convicted don't seem to really have any problem in the limelight where nobody really bothers them. I don't really know why that is on some people.
Well, see, I don't understand why this is, but it seems like in the NFL, in football, like for some reason, like steroids and HGH isn't as big of a deal as it is in baseball. And I don't understand why not, but it's just not.
I don't know.
Guys just don't.
I'm done on baseball. If you're done on baseball.
Yeah,
NASCAR is ready for the chase, so we gotta talk about that.
I got some stuff about that.
Just a skosh.
I don't like Jimmy Johnson, and he keeps winning. So.
Again, this is not the Kyle's doesn't like show. He's talking trash.
Well, he does. He keeps winning. I mean, can anybody beat him?
Talk trash about him. Did he win that race the other day?
Yeah, he won it the other night.
See, when things like that happen, I tend to forget them because I tend to forget things I don't want to remember. But the interesting part to me, I thought, was that Dale Jr. did not get into the chase.
Yeah.
And he had a good race going. He probably still wasn't going to make it because Jeff Burton was doing well enough.
Kevin Harvick.
His engine blows again. Yeah. You definitely have to figure out that there's something going on there. Truex has been getting the good gear, and I think that Dale Earnhardt Incorporated really turned their back on their namesake.
See, I don't think,
even though he's turned their back on them.
I don't really think that. I don't think they're giving him bad cars or bad engines. I just think I just don't think he's just not doing as well.
I do, because I just think it's BS to have that happen to somebody that many times, and for him to have that good a race going and keep it going, and he
blew the engine with like 3 laps, though.
Right.
I don't.
Well, just didn't have enough quite to make it. Well, why not?
Yeah.
Why
I don't know. I don't know how that happens. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying he's the best driver in the world either. I'm not a huge Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan by any means, but I think this really gets into the whole idea that I have for NASCAR, which I get for some reason they just can't do, but I don't know why. But like, you never hear of somebody in the NFL, like a player on the Broncos saying, "Oh well, I'm